competitiveness, the heart, the will, and just it's been such a tough year. But to just show what they're made of, what we're made of, and there were a lot of guys who came through. So obviously the spotlight is on them because of everything they've accomplished. But I just told them it was, with all the wins we've ever had here, with a lot of them with a lot more at stake, this is right up there. Just because, of where we are and our age and our, the decline of our performance this year, the injuries, it was just a display of, just a beautiful display of competitive will, and this is why Steph came back. So everybody out there who thought Steph should have taken the rest of the year off, this is what he does. This is who he is. If he can compete, he's going to compete, and it was just incredible to watch.
You talked pregame about kind of the unspoken understanding, y'all are near the end. How much, down the stretch are you kind of thinking about that, and when you're celebrating, thinking about at least enjoying a night like this one more time?
Just all I'm thinking about is how proud I am of the guys to really show what they're made of, and the fact that we're still alive. We've got to go to Phoenix now and try to get another one, and get ourselves in the playoffs. But I more than anything, I'm just so proud of the guy. We must have been down double figures 5-6 separate times, and we came back every single time we made a run. It was such an incredible display of guts and competitiveness and connection. And obviously Steph and Dre kind of took over down the stretch. Dre's defense, he's the best defender I've ever seen in my life. It's just insane what he does out there. The job he did on Kawhi, I thought our coaches did a really good job with the game plan to blitz Kawhi and try to put a crowd around him. And so the preparation was good, and the players really followed through. And for one night, we're us. We're champions again, And I know that may sound crazy to everybody out there. It's a play-in game. I don't care. It's just absolutely beautiful to watch.
Steve, you kind of answered some of it, but 21 points in 40 minutes for Kawhi with Draymond draped over him all night long. What were you seeing possession by possession from Draymond out there?
Well, Draymond, I think, is probably as well suited to guard Kawhi as any player in the league because of his strength and his brains and his ability to defend without fouling. And then I thought our guys did a really good job of helping and blitzing and just trying to make things crowded for him. Kawhi's been one of the best players in the league now for the last couple months. He's just been incredible. So we knew we had to make things difficult for him. And I thought we did as good a job as we could have. But Draymond obviously is the guy who allows for that game plan to work just because he can fight through every screen. He's so strong, he's so quick, gets back in front, and then just absolutely brilliant mind for defensive angles. And he seems to be in place before the other 9 guys on the floor over and over again.
We can kind of go down the list here of guys who just came up with big performances, but I'll start with Al Horford. What did he do in that fourth quarter to kind of unlock himself and hit those 3 straight three-pointers?
I thought what Al did tonight is one of the most difficult things to do in sports is when you're having a rough night through 3 quarters, to just flip it and all of a sudden start draining shots and making defensive plays. And he completely turned his own performance around, and it was kind of a perfect 1-2 punch with Kristaps and Al tonight. Kristaps kept us in the game with his scoring, his passing, blocked a couple shots. And then when it was Al's turn to come in, the way he just flipped the switch from what was a cold night to knocking down all those shots, the big 3 to give us the lead. Al was absolutely brilliant.
Steve, minutes restrictions can sort of become minute suggestions
I'm
when
sorry,
you're.
I can't hear you.
Minutes restrictions can sort of become minute suggestions when you're fighting for your playoff lives. But now that you have this quick turnaround to Phoenix for guys like Steph, for Al Horford, who came up big, for Kristaps, what does this look like? And is this about where you wanted them? Was this a little bit higher?
Yeah, I mean, it's a quick turnaround, but this is, look, we finished 10th. We're lucky to even be here. If this were 7 or 8 years ago, we would be on vacation already. So I want to thank the league for creating the play-in tournament. Thank you, Adam. And we're just happy to have a shot, give us a chance. And we've always felt that way. Just give us a chance. And somehow we were offered an opportunity after what was a really difficult season. And you saw what our guys are made of tonight. And we'll see what we can do on Friday.
Steve, you said right here, you said yesterday this felt like the first meaningful game in a long time, like a year. And you probably know to some extent what you're getting from Steph and Draymond. But in the first meaningful game in so long, to get that, not just from Al and Kristaps, but for Guy and Brandon, who haven't really played much on this stage, any postseason stage, for everybody to sort of come through like that. Yeah. What does that mean to you, not just to get you to Friday, but to carry into the future?
I mean, it's why I'm smiling up here. It's why I'm just so elated with what I witnessed just now. It was just absolutely beautiful. So many guys, every guy came in. I thought Melt was really good at both ends. And Guy scoring 20 points. He's a plus 16 out there. BP giving us 40 minutes. He has to because of our age and, the injury situation. And, just wonderful to see the group connected and fighting and making the most of this opportunity.
Hey, Steve, Steph's obviously known as someone that plays the game with joy, but he also has a lot of resiliency. In what ways does that characteristic set the tone for this group?
I think what I love, I love everything about Steph, but what I've seen, and it happened tonight, what I've seen over and over again, is he can be in the middle of a very average game. And then all of a sudden, it clicks, and he's so poised out there. Having a rough go, he just keeps going. He keeps going, and all it takes is one, and you could kind of feel it. He had those 2 plays where he tried to draw fouls, and I thought the officials made the right no calls on those, and they turned into buckets for the Clippers. We're down 10. I think he hit a little 15-foot jumper, and you could see it. Like that's all it takes. And you look at the box score at halftime, and then you look at the final box score, and you're like, how the hell did that happen? Look, 12 for 23, made 7 3. I didn't see any of that in the first half. But that's his magic. He just can will himself into a game and has so much belief. So much confidence and so much competitive desire. It's amazing to watch.
How closely did you watch Portland and Phoenix last night? And then what's prep like with a short turnaround coming off of tonight's win?
We'll do. We've had coaches preparing for both Portland and Phoenix over the last week. So our game plan is all set. We just have to present it to the players tomorrow, probably tomorrow evening. We won't have a practice, but we'll go through the game plan and then shoot around Friday to walk through some things. So we'll be ready. It's one game to get in, and we're excited about it. And Phoenix has a hell of a team. They've had a great year, and it's going to be another great game.
Steve, on your left here. You guys knew that Porzingis had this within him, and you touched on it a little bit earlier, but what do you think got him unlocked early and got him going the way he was?
He's a great player, he's a great player. He won a championship in Boston. He's been in big games. He's played in big FIBA games. Kristaps is a really talented dude, that type of three-point range, the shot blocking, the length, the IQ. made a beautiful little backdoor pass to Steph for a layup that helped Steph get going. And he's got a great feel, great IQ. And I know the last couple of weeks he hasn't shot it that well, but it's only a matter of time. And obviously this game meant an awful lot, and he came up big.
Following up on that, Steve, beyond his three-point shooting, those follow dunks a couple times. I mean, he seems like he gives you things you haven't had.
Right.
I mean, the size, obviously, but also he does things that you haven't had people who
Right.
can do. How much a difference does that make? Not just tonight.
Yeah, both Kristaps and Al, just the size and the ability to score inside, get a couple putbacks like Kristaps did, or scoring in the paint. We can go into Al for a post up and draw a double team. I think we did that, and Guy got a three. That might have been Kristaps, but regardless, having both of them as real threats offensively really complements what we do with Steph and Dre.